Hi, I'm Thomas Clayton. I was diagnosed with Asperger's in 1996. I was age 13. By the time I was age 13, things at home and at school were quite bad. I try not to speak about things just for myself. Things need to change for everyone. Some of my friends have never had an adult life outside of hospital, having similar experiences to mine. Autistic friends with and without learning disabilities. When I get overwhelmed or distressed, I tend to hit my head or bite my hands. This can lead to the police being called and end up being restrained by them and others, and eventually into hospital. Staff in hospital often don't understand how anxious I'm feeling and why I'm doing things. Because of this, they get angry and shout, or punish me by nipping me on purpose while restraining me. Sometimes they push me to get upset because they're bored, or laugh at me or hurt me in other ways. A lot of bad things have happened in and out of hospital by professionals. A lot of things that at the time I just accepted as how things were, but looking back really shouldn't have happened. I lost a lot of years as well to medication, especially antipsychotics. My mum talks about the time she remembers when I was barely conscious. I remember struggling to keep my eyes open and sleeping a lot. A lot of the medications I was on, I didn't need to be on, but because I had side effects, I would end up on more and more. I remember I was put on quetiapine, and for months I kept telling people I was scared. They kept asking me what of, and I kept telling them nothing, I just feel scared. They would tell me that there's nothing to be scared of. At the time I didn't know how else to explain it. My heart was racing constantly. I felt like really panicky, on edge, and the closest word to me was scared. They thought I was paranoid and kept increasing the medication. I now realise that it was almost certainly a side effect from from that medication. I'd had a side effect very similar previous to that, and it had felt very similar. As soon as they moved me to another medication, the feeling of scared was lifted. If they'd understood some of my language and communication skills, or read back in my notes, they could have probably worked out that I was describing the physical symptoms. Although there's been lots of bad times, there's also been lots of times when people have taken the time to listen and be understanding. It's meant that I've managed to avoid getting upset in the first place. Like when support workers who work with me now notice I'm getting overwhelmed, or when I say I need to leave somewhere, and they help me find a way out, meaning that I don't get too distressed, and it avoids having the police called altogether. I haven't been in hospital for a few years now. There's been a few changes, but one big thing that changed was that I happened to chat to an occupational therapist who was working on sensory needs and autism with someone else I knew. They were talking about deep pressure and how, and I was saying that when I was a kid I used to find being squished really calming, and they mentioned about how it's sometimes the reason people can get restrained for long periods, because it becomes a cycle of need of being calmed, but also being upset by being restrained, and needing something to calm me down from that. Over time we've learnt better ways to manage some of that now. It's helped for me to understand why it happens and find other ways to deal with things. Thank you.